Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Exchange podcast. And today I've got 3 guests who are going to sit with me and chat about various different topics. The first one, we're going to talk about, are kids these days too big for their boots? So what you lot saying?
What context? Give me more context.
So when I say big for your boots, I'm talking about
like Stormzy.
attitudes and behaviours. So, you know, having no manners when they're talking to their elders, that type of stuff.
I don't think it's like this generation, but it's definitely getting worse. But then if you think about it, this generation is a reflection of the last generation and then the generation before that. Now, if we look at personally, I don't know everyone's history here, but I have an idea. If we look at the generation before our parents, most of them have migrated from like the Caribbean or like West Africa or whatever. Yeah. So already 40, 50 years difference, there's going to be a drastic change because obviously there's going to be certain morals and certain ways of doing things that have not been carried over and have had to change because we're in a different society, we're in a different way of doing things. So you got to think the generation of our parents were changed a certain way, and then obviously we were raised, and then our generation's children are going to pick up very different morals to what like the past generation. So I feel like it's something that's gradually getting worse, and the kids are going to be more disrespectful or big for their boots or whatever. I feel it's a thing that is happening, but I don't think it's drastically different to when we was young. We used to lock teachers in the cupboard. We used to lock our people on
Teachers in the cupboard?
I've never heard of that one.
You don't even
what did you
No, so was you being unruly then?
We was bad. I was bad, but when I look at stuff that the youths then do now, I'm like, right, you've got no, like there was a rule code, like there was code, like so. If I saw, I don't know, even today, if I saw a girl, and this is like younger days, but still old enough. If I saw a girl and she's walking with her baby or she's pushing her pram, I wouldn't try and move to her. I wouldn't draw her in front of her kid. You know what I'm saying? Especially the kids of age of like walking or whatever. I wouldn't do that. Certain man these days, I'll go on red. They don't care. They don't care. I talk about teenagers.
I've been moved to with babies in my belly.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's what I'm saying. What
disrespectful.
Walk. That's walk. Do you get what I'm saying? So even that that just shows the level of respect that this generation has, and that's just one area. Do you get what I'm saying? In loads of different ways. Like I said in school, was locking teachers in the cupboard, I was doing them things.
You doing that?
Telling teachers, shut up, man, or get me. I used probably don't like you and stuff. Like we was cheeky, but we was never mad disrespectful.
But we never looked at
bitch. You just said that. We wasn't
I
disrespectful.
can't get over that bit.
What's that?
Hell no.
Where did you lot go to school? Because I went to school in East London. Like,
So did I.
You lot went to
Your school was a bad breed.
No, it was mixed school.
Yeah, you lot are bad breeds, period.
We locked the teacher in the cupboard. What else did we do? We made the teacher cry. We made a couple of teachers cry.
Oh,
It wasn't always on purpose. One teacher we made cry, like just being horrible. But like, what my point is kids now, I'm hearing a lot of stories over the years of kids beating their teachers. Yeah,
they're going over the top now.
Maybe it was happening when I was in school, but I didn't notice it. And I'm hearing that kids dashing chairs, boxing teachers.
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
it wasn't
a thing
as common
now.
in my day. I don't think. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can I ask something then? Do you then think it's our parenting and we've technically kind of lost our way and culture a bit? Because when you referred back to the generations, like not my mum's, but the generation before that, that's the Windrush type of era, they've come over. We're slowly losing our culture and our disciplinarian ways.
Yeah.
I would add to that, for some of us, like myself, we come from mixed backgrounds. So Caribbean culture versus like the English and Scottish culture is very, very different. And, you know, for my nan raising my mum, that whole what she raised and what a typical Caribbean family, what they would install in their kids are 2 different things.
Yeah.
So it really is down to what the principles and morals your parents install into you.
So would you then say that the shift was the Windrush era?
I wouldn't say
in terms of
percentage. So it's like, I don't know, in in your meal for the day, you got your protein, you got your whatever, you got your carbs, you got whatever. They all come together and make the whole thing in it, your whole nutrients for the day or whatever.
Yeah.
A percentage of it is parenting. Another percentage of it, remember, like, I can say I grew up a percentage of my life with my grandparents, and I grew up a percentage of my life with my mum as well. Now, there's a difference in both of those styles, but they're both kept to certain morals or whatever. I still went and done bad stuff. So, do you get what I'm saying? It's about your peers as well. It's about the society you grew up in.
Around,
what
who
everyone
you're
else is doing.
around.
It's what you're
Who your
normalised
friends
to.
are.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
And you as a child, because
Yeah.
I think, like, the example that I usually refer to is you can send a kid to a school just because a school's good doesn't mean that kid's going to excel and get the grades you expect.
Exactly.
So I think,
and it's just it's the other way around as well, because
yeah.
some people say, oh yeah, that's a bad school and da 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 da.
Exactly.
But actually, that child comes out to be something amazing.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
it is like you were saying before, a combination of everything. Parenting, I think, is obviously the first and foremost for me, because that is where that child is every day. Whether you are the biological parent or a carer or whatever the case may be.
It sets the foundation.
It sets the foundation, and then
Definitely.
after that, it's your peers, your friends, your friendship groups, blah blah blah.
And a big percentage that I think is very overlooked, really heavily overlooked, and I'm going to pull it out there, right? So, some single parent families, there's a lot of, I wouldn't say as much as back in the day, but I'd say this generation, men are doing a lot better to playing their part as dads than the 80s generation, which was like the drug generation, whatever. But also what I'm seeing is single mums, they're having a child and the dad's not around, i.e. because the dad, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, well.
I was going to say cunt. Basically, i.e. the dad's
We
a
had
cunt,
BCs last week.
Okay, I'm not going to swear too much, but basically, so the dad's a waste man, and the dad's got cuntish traits, Mum's single, man, I can do this on my own and that, fuck him, you know what I'm saying? Doing it on my own, she does it on her own, boom, boom, boom. You're forgetting, you're raised in the city doing 50% DNA of this said, So that has to be put into perspective as well, I believe in genetics a lot. I feel that has a lot to do with the way people act.
Of
Obviously,
course, 100%.
society and nature versus nurture, we say that, do you get what I'm saying? Some of it could be genetic, some of it could be the environment, but I feel like a lot of time people are not acknowledging the fact that, you got 50%. Despite how good your parenting is from your mom, you still got that demon seed. Like, mama says to me, that demon seed's still there.
You know what? Just to add and to call some controversial, but you have to remember, let's be real, the government did that on purpose. Do you get what I'm saying? Single parents actually get more than in benefits than with
the father.
With the father. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that
was from the Thatcher days.
She brought that into as foundation for a single parent family to make it flourish.
Right. So then how much of those percentage of those women or men, because there are single parent men, have said, all right, bun you can't have access, you're over there, I'm going to raise a child on my own, whereas the other parent wants to be active. So you've now deprived your seed.
They're empowered to do that because I'm getting money anyway for being a single parent, so you can run. I'm going to use this child as leverage now. It's true.
It's ridiculous.
Fair enough.
Awful. No, I hear what you're
saying.
So
that's where your child has missed out, and again, that causes issues. They're growing up, they get to teenage year, you're not really having any positive mentors around. Of course they're going to feel like they're big for their boots. I'm doing this on my own, so bun you. Forget you, I'll lock you in the cupboard like you said and move on with my day, innit? Disclaimer, do not be locking any teachers in the cupboard.
It's getting worse now, whipping out shanks on teachers and stuff like that.
No, it is getting worse.
But Jesus.
But they need to, I think as well, because the government put a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Authority then, in the child's hands. That's why the children. Because you can't slap your kids. You can't do certain things that you were able to do before, and they even encourage the child to call childline and them thing there.
But that is because
so that's why they think they're big for their boots.
Yeah, true. But that is because the whole social services is built off of worst case scenarios. This parent was so abusive to their child. This child was starved and left in a cold bath, wet, and all of this stuff is from worst case scenario. So now people that shouldn't be
penalised. I'm
penalised
getting
for boxing their
penalised.
children. Because sometimes a backhand across your face, that helped me in life, get me? Sometimes, oh, Mum, can I
Thought
get
you was
can I get
too-
back?
thought you
No,
was
I
too-
said no. Bam! Like,
Not even that. It's the twist up lip.
yeah, any facial.
Or the flick.
Yeah,
Innit, the
yeah,
flick.
You're getting it.
Yeah,
You're
I
getting
don't
it.
like that
The
flick.
Yeah.
The flick was evil. That's
Yeah, the
psychological.
flick was the worst.
It, you know that you felt the pain before it connected with your skin.
Yeah.
Because you felt it coming and kind
It
of.
was just like, yeah.
Psychological, man. That's where the real pain is.
I think, to be honest with you, it's just one of those ones where there's so many factors that lead into, do kids think they're too big for their boots?
True,
Yeah.
definitely. There's bare factors.
But then
Loads.
what happens now? What are we going to do, or what should we put out there to kind of reduce them thinking?
To bring them down a peg or two.
That-
That's what you can do.
No, I
There's
think
nothing you can do. I think
you
you
can
need
do-
to. You just need to encourage them
No,
and show them certain things.
and interact with them a little bit more.
Yeah.
I
There's
feel
only a
like
percentage that are
we
going to listen and learn.
yeah, but there's a certain percentage. But I still think that because we're putting the kids out there, we're letting them. They're getting too big for their boots. They know they can't do X, Y, Z. If they come home and the police on your door saying they teeth something, let the policeman take them to the cell for
Please
24
don't
hours.
take
Let them stay there.
nowhere.
Can I finish, please?
I'm sorry.
They're going to take them to the cell,
Damn.
do their thing, and then come back a little bit disciplined. But I also think at home, I think we need to sit down and have meals at the table and
Yeah,
have those
that's the
conversations.
thing.
I
That's
think
the
we
thing.
need
It
to
has
do
to
that as well
happen.
because there's bits and pieces at home that I think you could potentially miss out on. That also does play a part in how the kid's going to behave.
And I think that also goes back to generational standards, you know, like the
Uh-huh.
type of parenting. Because if we look back at how our grandparents parented, it was, I am talking to you,
you.
and you do as I
I
say.
say,
look at me. When
look
I'm
at me
talking
when I,
to you.
yeah.
Right, but now we're
Do
at a
as I say,
stage
not
where
as
the
I
kids
do,
have a
innit?
bit more freedom.
Yeah.
The government protects them with the certain acts and legislations. We kind of should be kind of going with the times and slightly changing that past a certain age to say, okay, we're at the table, we're talking, so talk
table
to
talk.
me. What's
Basic
going on?
morals, isn't it? Basic morals, basic manners, but that's a myth. That's a myth, and it can't be upheld anymore because, like you said, the government is stepping in and saying you can't do this and you can't do that. Cool, fair enough. And then on top of that, it's like society's just a whole different ball game. You've got social media, and I've seen all these.
Yeah, that's another
videos on
thing.
Instagram, yeah,
Oh, no,
prank
no.
my dad, slapping my dad in the face, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Well, saved. Yeah,
Sorry, that
try-
couldn't
try
run.
that.
Slapping your dad. What's that
Have you
about?
seen all these pranks? Aha, like
Yeah.
well,
Oh,
in front of my
pranks
dad
and all that.
stuff.
That's
Yeah.
not a prank though.
But these kids are serious.
Imagine
And
that.
it's
Your dad just boxed you.
But there was one video last week where the guy tried to prank his mum and say, oh, you know, some girl sent him a text message, but the mum's looking at his phone as well saying, I'm pregnant. The mum just gave him one box in his face
No.
before he could even say it's a prank. He got boxed.
See that?
Can you imagine? Nah, mate.
too much bands, too much stuff for the gram and for likes and all of that.
So then how, you know, I'm not a parent, so I can't really contribute as much, but then how would you kind of combat it if you saw that your kid was acting a bit too big for their boots?
Boy,
So I can't really comment either.
for me personally, I'll just have to talk to them. I think it's important to have dialogue within your home.
I feel like not enough households speak. There's not enough communication. A lot of kids that come into care or any sort of like services similar to care, foster, whatever, they haven't had that communication or that dialogue at home. They haven't had that nurturing environment. So you're right, like, yeah, just conversations, just being spoken to and listened to as well are things that can reduce certain, you know what I mean, certain behaviours or whatever. But at the end of the day, we go back to the whole DNA thing. If you're a cunt, you're a cunt. Well, we can do all of this
That's
stuff.
the word for
'cause
the day, innit?
yeah,
The key word
'cause
for the day.
in my line of work, like what I've done for like the last 10 years, like I've worked with like a lot of troubled youth in it, gang affiliated, lots of different areas in it. I won't go into too much detail, but what I've noticed is it's as simple as black and white. Some kids can be helped, not even just kids, people. Some people can just be helped or given the tools to become better and develop, and it's because of a hiccup that happened there why they're at this stage now and we can just get them back to that stage. And some people are just damaged for life. Some people are destined, some of these kids that are too big for their boots are destined to just be the pussies of the world, like the people that rob you for your handbag, the people that kick up old ladies, and the despicable people, the rapists, the druggies. That's just how life is. Not everybody can be an upstanding member
Citizen,
of society.
true.
a lot of these people that are on this path and staying on this path are just meant to be the dregs of society. Unfortunately, it's a very harsh thing to say, and it seems like I'm just like writing off a big percentage of society, but unfortunately, this is the reality.
But do you not feel that perhaps there can be room for change? The reason why I say this is because people suffer trauma, yeah, like daily, and I think every human being on the planet has trauma and has suffered trauma at some point in their lives, if not already, yeah. But if that trauma hasn't been dealt with, it leads on to other things.
Yeah.
So like, you might rob someone, or you might cheat a lot because you just don't feel loved, or you might just be like, was it a sexaholic or an alcoholic or a druggie or whatever. You turn to something to fill that void, of the trauma. So until you address the trauma, you're always gonna be like a fiend then to something. Definitely. Do you understand? So I'm feeling like if you're in a position to heal, but first you need to recognize, innit, before you can heal something. You need to recognize that there's something going on, and maybe those dregs of society that you were saying, maybe they failed to recognize that, or they haven't even
capacity to be able to identify.
Exactly, because they haven't got the right people around them to show them certain things.
Some sort of learning difficulty, or
that's it.
Because
100%.
come across people that just do not have it in them to take responsibility for their action. If you can't take responsibility for your action, then you can't move on and accept. Alright, so I did that wrong. So what I need to do now is try and do this right in the future to build. And if you can't even look at yourself and say, "Rah, I need to fix up," how are you ever gonna? Do you get what I'm saying?
It's true.
It's true.
It's mad. There's a lot of factors to it, and I feel what they're saying. Very valid point. It's a shame. I don't know what we're gonna do.
What we gonna do?
What we gonna do?
What we gonna do when they come for you? But I don't know, man. I feel like we definitely need to have more conversations.
Definitely.
As a whole, really, with people, just not even young people, but just people. Like I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, that we see often like a group of young people on the street corners, but we're afraid to speak to them. Not me personally, because I hail up people. I hail up people when I see them. I see a bag of guys on the street, I'll be like, yeah, what's good? How's everything going? Build conversation with them, because sometimes people view them as like these horrible monsters, and actually when you speak to them, they're cool. Like as long as you don't disrespect them and you're just like cool with them, they're cool with you.
I think we've lost the whole village raising it takes a village
to raise a child thing.
There's no community.
The communities are broken down.
I feel like that's more in the black community than any other community, to be honest.
Really?
Because I feel like the other communities are still, there might be a little bit of segregation, but they're still quite unified. I feel like in the black community we are just breaking down a little bit more, and I think there's such a massive gap between, I would say, our generation and the generation below us, because there's social media differences as well.
Because remember, social media came in just as we were leaving. That's when social media came in. So
I was halfway through school.
Do you remember MySpace?
Yeah.
You know how MySpaces are gone though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's gone.
It got deleted.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole they
took it off the database.
They took all got off. I was wanting to go back.
Tom's got no brethrens left.
Tom was everyone's first friend.
Everyone's first friend. I wanted to go back onto that.
But even now, because obviously, like the era of MySpace and BBL, I was like, what, 12? 13? Do you get what I mean? So even when social media first touched out, everyone was like, okay, it's cool.
No one jumped on it.
Like everyone was a bit like, so what happens now? Like we're on there. What actually happens? You might make an account. You look at it.
True.
It's not really for me.
We had black chat with them things. Do you remember that? We had black chat, MSN, Messenger. We had all of that.
Yeah, like do you get what I'm saying?
I think we missed that.
MSN was a serious thing.
Right. So then by the time I got to college, it was like, Instagram.
But you know why it was different? Hugely, because you're gonna check your Instagram. How are you gonna check it?
On your phone.
Right. You used to have to go home for...
On your laptop, on your computer, desktop.
Mum, can I
with
go
the
on
big
the
bag.
I'm on the phone, like, wait, get me after that, Bobby.
And it was the dialing thing.
But listen, like, you had to go onto your WhatsApp, what was MSN back then, and talk to your
you had to log in.
That you just saw, like, Get me? Yeah, what's going on?
And I think MSN died out about 11 years ago.
Time ago. I
It
remember.
died out about 11 years ago.
MySpace times, didn't it? I think Facebook was stepping in when I was like fading out of my MSN and less people were coming online.
Remember ASL?
Oh wow. Nah.
ASL.
A6 location, didn't
Yeah,
it?
that was back. Was it Blackjack?
BRB.
See,
Yeah, be right back. I still do be right back.
Oh, I swear.
BRB.
Nah.
Yeah,
And
but
even
do you get what I
BBM
mean?
days as well.
Okay, yeah, BBM was like the
BBM.
first.
But that wasn't that long ago,
No,
though,
that
was
wasn't that
it?
long ago.
What
More
was
than 10
BBM?
years ago.
2007, 2008?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like that's BBM took over MSN. But like I said, back when I was in school, yeah, BBM was the thing. Do you get what I'm saying? But we never lived by social media. Yeah, we were constantly messaging like the MSN era, BBM, but it weren't like raw. I've got to upload this for Instagram.
Because your phone's not in your hand every 2 seconds. You're on a bus, you're bored, whip out your thing, go through Instagram, go. You couldn't do that back in the day. You would get your big computer out and go.
You had a face off and
You had
then
to wait till you get home. Do you remember? Listen, I've still got the phones in my drawer.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like nowadays, I feel sorry for the kids younger than me because you're now trying to live up to the social media norm. I can't even say it's society. No, it's social media. It's two different things.
Yeah, two different things.
The world of social media is crazy.
Got its own world. It's like a whole new thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole new
People
world.
that are not shit that you go in their yard and their yard's as big as that cupboard with the little sink and a little dead mattress on the floor and they're taking pictures in bikinis and they got 2,000
Yeah, but when the yard is nasty behind
you will never know because all you're seeing
It's
is
true.
this. That's all you're seeing.
And then you've got apps now to change up your body and all that.
I see that some editing.
Yeah, you can edit. Yeah, you can edit
And
your
then the whole
body.
BBL thing as well, and just people
Just
living up to
promoting
it
that.
as well.
That girl's batty fell into her leg, and I'm like,
Don't
why
lie.
did you go-
Who?
Yeah,
When?
One of them Instagram.
No. They injected it into. They injected fat into her thigh.
You know what I'm talking about, innit?
Yeah.
The influencer. She's
Yeah.
a YouTuber.
She
yeah.
comes from the same area that we're sitting in now.
I swear.
Oh, really?
Well,
Oh.
let's just put it out there. I'm not dissing you, but you shouldn't have got it. Just allow it. Like, see all of these things there?
No, it's,
Guy in
it's
Turkey.
preference. It's preference. People,
I think, but you have to remember the age that she got it because we're the same age. You go, I mean, the age that she got it and what's on social media around about them times, it's like, yeah, quick fix. I'll look good. Do you get what I'm saying?
Let me ask
I
you
hear
something, yeah? Boom. If you're hungry, yeah, right now, yeah, would you go over to the shop down there, the random shop that you've never been to, and get the, I don't know, a kebab or whatever, that you don't know this shop, but would you just go there and just get a kebab?
I'd rather go to a corner shop and get a packet of crisps.
Would you, right, so you'd prefer to go somewhere
Where
more
you
familiar,
know,
that
where
you
you-
know,
yeah.
yeah? If it's food, you might go to the local Caribbean shop or the local Chinese shop. Like, you're familiar
know
with
it,
them,
yeah.
you know they're clean, you know whatever, I don't know. But you've got some sort of familiarity there, you've got some trust. People from the neighbourhood go there. It's not a, right. So these people might look at a chicken shop and be like, I'm not going there, dusty chicken shop, I'm waiting till I get right. Same people are gonna go fly to Turkey and met someone where you don't know in Turkey,
But they
juke
might
up their
have-
batty and put whatever in
No,
their
but they
bat-
might have got reviews and they might have done all the research and
Yes.
stuff, which I would like to think that you don't go in blindly with something. So
I'm
See,
sure
when
they do their
something come
research.
easy,
I'm sure
yeah?
they
I'm
do
sure
their
they do.
research.
Maybe
It's
not
cheap,
enough
it's cheap over there,
research.
It's cheap.
Maybe-
Everyone that's going to get hair transplant,
Hair
I was gonna
transplant
say
as
that
well.
anyway.
Yeah.
I know brothers that are going over there and getting hair transplant. I'm like, bro, like, we.
But they do man weaves now anyway, so why don't
All
they
of
just
that,
do that?
yeah.
They
No,
just-
but it
some
might
people
fall
want their-
off.
Yeah, it might
It
fall
might
off. I
off.
think you're just there and then you're just in your.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you
drop
just have
or
to keep,
whatever, and
just
the
have to
wind-
keep, you just have to keep getting it done.
No, no,
Really?
no.
When you could just
Women
get a-
do it.
So what?
So
If
what's
he
the
goes
difference?
in the pool and it just sees it
No, but
floating
if they
later.
get-
Yeah, but
what's
women
that
get a
done?
weave, so what's
If
the
they get and they
difference?
start going bald, you know they have to, like, that's it. Like, so you might take out a piece of the back of your head and put it out the front, and then when the rest starts going, then you've got nowhere to ask. You take it from my bed, it's going to be
Take it
thin
from
and
the
patchy.
bed.
You just have to go gracefully. Like the key word here is accept what you've got and, you know, be
Fully.
confident within yourself.
And don't go to these places and let these people. But you know,
Yeah,
I
but
don't care
social
about
media
anyone
is
else.
influencing this type of behaviour though.
Yes,
It's
of course.
influencing this perfect body and this perfect like shaped like
I feel a lot
really
of
and
women in the
truly
black
I don't
community are
feel
doing
that
it
there's
now.
any human being
No,
in this world
I
that
wouldn't
has,
even just limit it to the black community.
no this is everyone. What I'm saying is that I don't think every human, no, what am I saying? So what I'm saying is every human being in the world, in my opinion, does not have a perfect body. For me, this is what I'm saying, my eyes in it.
to them. You might look at a girl and say,
them.
you're perfect. And
But
she
this
might
is
be,
what I'm saying.
"No, I don't
That
like
beauty
it."
is in the eyes of the beholder. Do you understand? But what is perfect? And why are we aspiring, not us particularly,
Again.
but why are we aspiring to be this perfect person?
Again.
I'm sorry, but take me as I am. I'm me,
That's what social media
and I
does.
am what I am. If you don't like me, then move. You don't need to be in my space.
And we need more people with that mindset. We need to get out
All of this thing,
But
like,
you know what's important with that mindset and me sitting here as a young person is that it comes with age and it comes with life
Yeah,
experiences.
yeah, I
Do you get what I'm
that, I
saying?
get that.
So,
People you have
like,
around
go
you.
back to the example of the girl that we're referring to. She was young when she got it done.
but
So
what,
where's
then
the
what's
life
the excuse?
experiences?
What's the excuse for the big people that's doing it?
Well, maybe they didn't have the life experiences that I'm referring to.
Everyone should just allow it.
But when
You
we
know
say
what?
life
It's just
experiences,
everyone's
what do we mean by life experiences though?
Okay, for example, did you try the gym? I'm looking at the camera. Did you try the gym?
I tried the
About
gym
though.
plenty times, but the gym now work for me.
So that's one. Like, did you change your diet?
I've changed it now.
Do you get what I mean? Did you research? Did you reach out to people about the personal trainers
Do you
about
know what
healthy
it
eating
is?
and stuff
Okay,
like
so
that?
basically, yeah, you and I have done exercise together before. She motivated me like a lot. She followed me gym like how many times a
6
week?
a.m. 3 times a
Three
week.
times a week, yeah.
Yeah.
Because not obviously, but and people are not gonna know this, but I had an award ceremony like in 2017. And I wanted to lose weight and I wanted to do it the right way. And this one here was a soldier, mate. And she got me down. She was making me lift up big tires and things. But it worked. But it was down to me. It was down to me to be consistent. Obviously,
Yeah.
I wasn't. But I lost the weight. My shape, I was seeing, because I have shape, but unfortunately, the fat sometimes covered the thing up in it, so you can't see it. I have good shape.
Listen,
Covers the
obviously,
ting up.
sometimes.
No, but it's the truth.
No, but it's
I believe
facts.
it's me. I believe I have good shape.
Right, so
But
then you just said
my
it's
fat
me.
will cover certain
So-
things, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna be doing certain things for anyone else.
I
If
think
I
that's-
want to change it, it's for me.
I think that's
Not
the
for
thing
the
as
world.
well about
Okay.
Females, I feel like females sometimes body shame other females accidentally. So you see what you
I
said
think
there?
it's-
I got good shape, right? Not every girl can say that, yeah.
Mm.
Because what is classed as good shape?
It's just about to
Yeah.
say that.
Do you get what
But
I'm
for
saying?
me-
Run with it. So, you
Wait.
term of body shaming. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's like, rah, I got shape, and then Susie straight back saying, well, okay, well, I ain't got. It just makes-
Yeah, but then
it just
she
makes-
might think that
You get what
she's
I'm
got
saying?
shape.
Huh?
So she might think that's good shape.
Maybe that's your
Everyone's
preference
shape.
about, huh?
Everyone's
What?
shape is
No, my
their shape.
preference- my
People's
preference
shape
is
is
not
their
relevant
shape,
to
and
this.
sometimes you're born with what you're born with,
But
and
not
you
everyone
can't
understands
you
that.
can't help with the certain body shapes that you
But
have. But
I
you
used
just
to
have
say
to
that,
deal
innit?
with that and
I
live with
think
it.
for me-
Someone's gonna love you regardless.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Of course they
But
will.
I just feel like saying things like that. I used to say that, and I feel like it's something I don't say anymore. Like, oh well, I like girls with shape, or wow, like, okay. So what about the girls that don't feel like they've got shape, or to everyone else haven't got shape? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's not like every shape is a shape, innit?
It's a shape.
But it's true.
It's still a shape. But I think what people are meaning, what people are referring to nowadays is this hourglass thing.
Yeah.
That's what, and that's when what is it?
And-
BBLs.
Yeah.
That's where that comes in.
I think for me, obviously, I've gone from being the skinniest stick to having shape to being on the plus size and having people like pick up on it. Oh, you put on a bit of weight. Oh, I like this shape. And it's like, you're saying too much now. Like, can we just admire the body I have today? Don't tell me about 2 years ago. Today. It's today. This is today's body. If I want to go in the gym 4 times a week, that's my choice. It's not a requirement. And I'm
I hear
certainly
that.
not doing it for satisfaction
Like, yeah,
or likes on
gratification.
Instagram.
I hear
And
that.
definitely there's no BBL happening. Because what people don't realise, you do a BBL once, you got to do it again.
What is it?
Do you?
That fat moves.
Yeah. Remember I told you that?
I know you got to stay. You got to go gym.
Yeah, you gotta go gym.
But I didn't know you had to.
Yeah, you got to sit in some tight corset thing for a couple hours a day every day. You've got to go
Yeah.
gym.
I
You've
follow
got to cut
some
out
American
certain.
girl, she got something done and she's wearing something all the time and like
Yeah.
taking pictures of it. She got batty now. She never used to have batty. Like, I'm like, okay.
And then you know what pisses me off here about these girls that do it. I mean, they delete their
old
old
pictures.
pictures.
Yeah, and they come with the
And then
tummy.
they-
The tea made me lose the weight, or the
Yeah.
Hold on, but you have to listen to the Nicki Minaj line. Like you fuck the old body, ain't fuck this body. They're two different people. That's what they're moving with right now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually mad. That's actually mad.
I
Like,
don't care if people get it done. My thing is, don't now tell me that the tea made you lose the weight in your stomach and you get batty now. That's
Yeah.
what stresses me out. Because I'm just like, seriously, stop. You're
That's
lying
a dream,
now.
innit?
Yeah,
Like,
if
no,
people
it's
want to
not-
do
Has
it,
anyone
I
here
don't
tried
really
the
care, but-
teas?
What
Oh,
tea?
Lord.
I'm not trying no tea. I'm okay with me. I'm not trying no tea.
What tea? Slim tea.
Yeah.
I've had slim tea before.
No, I'm talking about their tea that they're promoting because they say it burns fat in certain
Oh
areas and stuff.
no.
Not normal
I've had the
tea.
Chinese
Yeah,
slim
no.
tea.
I haven't had the Chinese slimmer
That hurts
tea,
your belly, mate.
but I did try
If
a
you want to
brand.
ever if you want to know what it feels like to have contractions, drink slimmer tea.
Oh my god, I'm
Okay.
so
That
Yeah,
makes you have contractions, man.
It's like
I'm
a
telling
detox.
you,
It's
it's
like
horrible.
Senecot leave.
Yeah, it's
If I can't handle a shot of bitters, I don't think I can handle that.
Forget that then.
No.
forget that then.
No. But I've tried a brand,
Mhm.
and I was like, I've tried it. Obviously, I did notice some difference, but I was just like, they did not lose weight just by drinking this tea.
No,
Nothing dropped
Yeah,
off.
but nothing works like that though. And this is people need to
temporary fixes, isn't it?
people need to understand, yeah, that you're not gonna lose weight by drinking one cup of tea or how many times a day, and your diet still the same, and you don't move. How are you gonna lose the weight?
Quick fix.
You need to do a combination of everything, and even when you read the labels of these things, it tells you. You have to do it, and you have to have a healthy diet, and you exercise. Yeah, you can't lose weight just if everyone could do it. I think a lot of people, everyone would have been just sipping tea. So you got to be realistic with these things. But in terms of like BBLs now, if you want to do it, that's fine. I don't have anything against people
Yeah.
who do it. But obviously, do it for you, innit? Do it for
Just
for
don't do
yourself.
it. Just don't.
If you're going to do it
I
though,
just
because
feel like
there's people
don't.
that
It's too much risk.
Yes, but they're willing
You
to
believe
take that.
in
People
God.
are willing to
Well,
take the
believe what
risk.
it gives
Then it
you.
is
No.
what it
Let
is.
no one slice you up.
I
want
agree.
botched.
Yeah. Botched is not the one.
I agree, and the
No.
reason being, you do your BBL, you do your recovery, then you've got to change your lifestyle
You do.
around. You could have just cut out half of that if you just went to the gym 4 times a week and changed your diet. You wouldn't have to be in that pain.
But
You wouldn't have to
know
go
what?
through botched if you got botched.
True.
You wouldn't have to repeat the procedure in 2 years' time. You wouldn't have to
Do
wait
you
no
have to do
time.
it in 2 years'
No, I don't
time?
think
Roughly.
It's not just
But
like a
roughly.
one
I know
time
with
thing.
implants you do. Implants is every 10 years.
Yeah, breast implants.
Yeah.
Yeah, breast
gotta change
implants
them.
you have to change them every 10 years.
Do you know
So
what?
can
I
you
just think
imagine
if
in
you're
your
gonna do
80s
it-
and that you got to be putting
Take them out,
Hey.
ladies. You really got time to be having breast. I'm like, take that out, take that out. Take that
No,
out.
but some of them want to be nice on Instagram, you know.
Do you know what? If you're
The
gonna
old
do it,
grannies.
do it. But at the end of the day, it's what you like, innit? But just as long as you research it properly, then it's all good. But it's when you're yeah,
No, but you
exactly,
see
but
with
it's
that
everybody's
now-
preference.
I'm
Like,
thinking
not
about
gonna-
people's health. I'm thinking about people
Yeah, I
not
get
dying
it. But
or
if
being
they,
the fool
yeah,
or
of
getting
course, I hear
infected.
that.
Yeah.
But they're aware of those risks if they're taking
Yeah,
it. That's
Yeah,
what
they
say.
are. They're
So
definitely
so we
aware
can't
of
just say,
it.
"Oh, don't get it done." If
No,
this is
don't.
what makes them happy,
Nah, I think we need
Then-
to ban out the whole idea of mechanically.
I
changing
do
your
understand
body.
what
I get what
point
you're
is.
saying.
Do you get what I'm
but
saying?
you
Because
can't
obviously
completely-
young girls growing
It's
up
not about
now.
it looks for me. It's about just don't do that to yourself. Like just allow it because you could die. Look at Kanye West's mum.
And he
Yeah.
feels bad. He
Cool,
feels.
that's on your conscience forever. If you never had the money you have, your mum wouldn't be able to get no tummy tuck, and she would be alive, bruv. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, it's just long. Like, and that's we're talking top Miami, Hollywood, wherever.
Yeah.
Doctors that are pros at this, and his mum died. Anyone can die.
Yeah,
Do you
health
know what I'm saying?
complications.
Doesn't matter if you
Health
fly out to go see
complications,
Dr.
yeah.
Miami.
Right. Whether it's Dr. Miami or the brother that used to do kebabs in Turkey, who knows? Like,
Yeah. This
you might
guy.
get sliced up same
This
way.
guy.
What?
Oh my
Lucky
You
who?
get it, you get
Lucky-
me?
Are you comparing bodies to kebabs now? You
Yeah,
say
but
just
it's the
like get
but they
sliced up.
actually slice you up like that on the table. You
I've
just
seen
can't
it.
see it.
I've
It's
seen
bad.
it.
Yeah.
All out of the Turkish man, them, yeah. Big up.
Oh,
Get
this
me.
guy.
Yeah,
I
get me.
can't even.
But listen, yeah.
Like I said, I'm an
I
advocate
think
for love
what you.
yourself,
I think
but
what you're saying though is right in terms
I
of.
get you. Love yourself. I'm with that. I'm with that fully. And I feel like letting someone chop you up because you feel that that's going to make you love yourself more is the wrong way. Even though it's solving the problem there and then, it's the and I feel like we need to get to the core of what the issue is,
Yeah.
so we don't have to go through the knives and cutting up and the infection
that.
or whatever. I don't want to see nobody leg fall off and them thing there. Like, I don't.
Yeah, that's not my
It's
preference.
mad,
It-
like,
yeah,
you get what I'm
it's-
saying?
it's
It's mad
not.
that people will go through that. Like, I'm shook to even flipping get a tooth pulled out by the dentist. The doctor start chopping in my chest and taking my nipple and turning it upside, colouring it and then sewing it back on, and the nipple fell off because it didn't.
No, but men get surgery. Men get the six-pack thing going
they
on.
do.
So you're.
They do. They do.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Girl anyway, them man, there probably you get me. Hurry, girl, no wonder. You
don't even know. I don't know anyone that's got it done. But would you be able to tell the difference?
I don't know. I think by touching it though.
Really?
It can't feel like how a normal man, a gym man feels like.
And that's the thing as well. If you get BBL, how does it like? Does it feel like?
I don't know. I don't know someone person that has it. So I don't know.
I've not felt a BBL batty, but
I think I know someone who's actually got a BBL, but it's on the secret thing. I just saw a picture on Instagram the other day and I was shocked. I was like,
name and shame now, joking.
No, I know.
That.
Like obviously, I know people.
It was like on. I was like, huh? You know when the fire is just like all the way over there.
She said the. Let me sit my drink.
You know when the fire is just all the way over there, and I'm like, but why is your fire like that?
But does it give you hips as well, the BBL?
Yeah, because what they do, because it's how they do it. Yeah, so they put it in the bum obviously, and then they put it in your the side. No, the sides. They do it like that.
So it depends, because obviously it depends on your body type as you get on the table. Because to cultivate, you got to cut some of the stomach away, the fat on the stomach. You got to shave. You can,
they put it into you
and your back. They have to shape the bum, so you might have to add some fat on the top and at the bottom and at the sides. Man. It's different things for different people.
So I'm gonna say something real controversial here, but you know what? I don't care. So basically, realistically, see when gal are getting all of this done, I'm gonna get the bum like this and whatever. Are they doing it to love themselves? Are they doing it to get D? Like, come on, really? Like, all of that, realistically, like, come on.
But if you're some guys that pay for their girls to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true. Cool. But then if you're a real bad gal, you can get man. Like, of course, period.
Yeah, any girl can get man. Period. Like, I'm not.
So you don't need a BBL to get man.
Yeah, but are these girls?
But I do feel okay. But listen,
it's for man. Do they want more man? Do they want man to love them more?
I believe there's an element of that, and I'll tell you why.
From the females,
I've seen some Instagram girls, whatever they are, and they influencers. I don't know what they're influencing, but influencers, right? Who've gone and got BBL, and like I said, all their previous pictures are gone in it. But if you did it for yourself, and it wasn't for man, let them see growth.
Right, let them see. I used to be this. I didn't.
And then and so you did, and then own it as well. Like, don't lie. What annoys me is the girls that go and do BBL but act like they didn't do it. But hold on, I saw you last week, fam, and you did not like that.
So you think it's for man if they're doing that?
100.
Yeah, okay.
I think it depends on if we're gonna base that.
But why
question.
Lie,
no, I'm gonna base it on if we're gonna base the question on influencers. There are certain.
I didn't get BBL.
There are certain influencers that will vlog the whole journey. You can still see some of their old pictures, or they regularly repost the old pictures and stuff. That's fine. You can see the growth there. But there's some where, okay, I'm thinking about getting the money. All the influencers look like this, and they get top dollar for their Instagram posts or their social media posts. I need to look like that in order to get my money up.
If they do that for the money, hey, I rate that. Do whatever you're gonna do.
You're willing to die for money.
Nah, but look, Michael Jackson.
You're willing to get botched up for body.
For peas.
No, man, you're selling.
But this is where like
I can kind of I don't agree with it, but I get alright. So you're making peas off of spending that peas and risking your life, and you're getting mad income from your Instagram or whatever shoots or whatever. Cool. I don't agree with it still.
But that's only for a time though. That don't last for long.
And whatever, bro. How's that? How does that benefit in your life? Do you get what I'm saying? You're putting your life on the line for what? If you're doing it for peas, I'm not saying put your life on the line for peas, but okay, cool. It's for peas, isn't it?
You're saying that because it's a purpose.
I mean, you're financially bettering yourself. Then whatever you do with your money there, if you buy a house or start a business, whatever, then that could be growth for you as a person. But
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like the equivalent of selling yourself in the corner.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Which I don't agree with, but that's what you're doing to make your money. I can't give you 100 grand or whatever you're making from it. So do what you're doing to make your money, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? It's like people selling drugs. Do what you're doing. Like, I'm not saying it's good or it's bad. I'm just saying, you're making money and that's putting food on your table and that's going to help you get to where you need to get, then do what you're doing, innit? As long as you're not hurting nobody, which you are hurting people.
You're hurting yourself first and foremost.
Yeah, but
because you're risking your life.
That's my general opinion on things that make money. Like, do what you're doing, innit? As long as it's not hurting anybody or detrimental to yourself, innit? But obviously some of these things are. The BBL thing or whatever you're doing to make money on Instagram, yeah, that's gonna hurt you or it could hurt you. You know what I'm saying? But you're making your money. Selling drugs, you're destroying bare people's lives.
Yeah, you are. That's
because you're selling them drugs, isn't it?
And that's a whole generation of broken individuals.
Of course. And then they're gonna have kids and them kids are gonna have effects off of, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Person, that was it's a big circle, but yeah, I think I'm going on the time.
I worry though about the girls growing up now, the young little girls coming up now, and this is a social media world, so all what they see is gonna be that particular image.
Yeah,
they're not seeing nothing else.
Kim
So
Kardashian.
that's what they're gonna aspire to be.
Yeah, the Kardashians.
So how do we then talk about self-love, loving yourself, and respecting yourself and your being, when as soon as they go on social media, they're seeing this sculptured body, and then they're gonna start being insecure because actually I don't look like that woman on the screen.
That's when I said previously that we should really have these dialogues, kitchen table talks,
100%.
And I think that we shouldn't just leave it to schools to teach our kids about
Hell
whatever
no.
else. I think
We need
also
to do
when
the
kids
work.
come home from school, you should at least dedicate an hour of your time to your child and just sit down, find out about themselves, their day, and just do like little bits and pieces. Like, I don't have kids, but if I do have kids, after school I definitely dedicate some time to teaching my kids about Black history,
100.
just general finances, money, the things that I know they don't teach them in school, because those are the things that they're missing, and those are the things they're going to look on social media for.
To find.
So I would do stuff like that.
And definitely look with their friends, the blind leading the blind.
And just literally as well see who their
Good
friends
point.
are. You can't stop them from who they're hanging around with, but you can kind of have some input in regards to building character a bit more in the activities that you expose them to. Like, I think a massive thing that Black parents need to do as well is let their kids travel outside of Africa and the Caribbean. There is a whole big world out there. We can go to Antarctica, wherever you want to go, Bali, Hawaii, all these places. I'm not going to say the Bates, Dubai's and all those places, but general places that have culture, like Thailand, see other things. Take them back to Africa, to not the obvious countries, but to see poverty, see people that don't have things that they don't have. Because that builds character, that teaches them other things. Be grateful for that goddamn iPhone that you got, you know. Because this kid don't have that.
Exactly.
It's just little
They
things
don't even
like
have
that.
a basic phone.
Exactly.
Much less an
So
iPhone.
it's just exposing them to things that I personally think that they wouldn't be necessarily
And you
exposed
find
to.
that when you go to these places, like I've travelled a lot and I've seen certain things, they're more happy than us.
I'm telling you.
You don't have half the things we have, but you're more happier than us.
Simple life.
It actually,
And that shows you that right there shows a lot, because it shows that we've got too much,
Yeah, definitely.
and actually we don't even need it.
No way.
My grandma grew up with 13 brothers and sisters. She said they were poor. They had a farm, but they were poor, yeah. But they lived the best life. They were so happy. These kids that have got iPad, iPhone, Mac, this, the trainer, that, the Balenciaga and all of them things there, they don't value things.
It's true.
Can I just say, okay, they don't value things, but if some parents want to buy that for their kids, that's completely up to them. But I don't think we should shame them into completely doing that, because that might be the only thing that they know as well. I'm just coming at it from a different angle.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because if we just say, oh, you shouldn't buy your kids that, if they can afford to do that, let them do that. But I just think if you're going to do that, let them know the value of the products
what
that you're
you're
buying
doing,
them
yeah.
to. Because then it will give them two sides of the coin.
but then you got some parents that are just doing it. Oh yeah, my kid's got the latest drip. Put it on Instagram. Yeah, that's 200. Like, oh, I want to be like you, bro, when I grow up. Sorry,
Yeah, I hear that.
that's not an investment of well put use to money. But you want to put that out there, that's fine, that's your choice. But
what if they've got that money to spend, so that's all they know?
Nah, destroying their children, isn't it? Doing that.
Yeah, I think you're not teaching your children any type of value.
And that's how they're so you.
And you're also teaching them to be materialistic, because remember, that's just a phone, that's just a trainers, and that's just a jacket. You're not saying, oh yeah, I've just bought a plot. Do you know what I mean?
So
Or
let me give you an
I bought
example.
properties in Antigua, I've bought properties in Spain. You're not telling your child you've done that.
What do you guys
but
think about the whole thing that Cardi B bought a little girl a bag? I saw this a few months ago. I think it was a Birkin.
Yeah.
So people on social media were literally rinsing her.
I saw it.
I heard
was it her birthday?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a birthday present too.
She was opening it and then she just done that or something.
And people were playing with her out for that. But then she came back, and I've got the money to do that, and it's not a case of me just throwing money there. I like to bag for my kid. We're twinning. I get what she's saying, but that's why I said if some people have got the money to do it, shaming them for doing it, I don't think it's fair because they've got the money to do it. Because clearly they've got.
Actually, touching base on what you just said, and especially what Cardi B said, if you're living a certain lifestyle,
your kid should be too.
Right. True. But I think where people forget their roots, it's a problem. So, for example, you worked hard to get to where you got to. Now, you're not going to pass half of that struggle on to your kid. So you've got to give them character building exercises in a different way to expose them in reason to some of the struggles that you had to do. So you giving your child an iPhone, did they work for it? Did you say, oh, if you do chores around the house, this is how much it costs, and if you work up to it, we'll get you a phone?
Now, can I ask you something? Why should they have to do that? I'm just throwing out.
No, you're playing devil's advocate. I know you.
Yeah.
But it's to show the value.
Yeah.
It's to show that if you work hard, you can get anything that you want, materialistic or whether it's a property or anything. You can't get anything for free.
Yeah.
If they're now
I agree with
rich,
that.
then why do they want to bring back those memories and instill some of those in their kids?
Because money can disappear tomorrow and you will be broke and you don't even know how to unblock a toilet. You have to call the plumber with what money? Okay.
If the parents dead, the insurance goes to whatever label or whatever, they don't get the money, the kid's broke. The kid has got no idea.
Kid don't know where to start.
How to do.
Don't know how to cook.
Kid's gonna end up
don't know how to make toast.
Scenario, though.
But look at the kids when they go university, and obviously we know people that have gone university and they've lived on dorms. My friends have told me stories that these middle class kids come in and they don't know how to boil an egg.
They don't.
They caused a fire in the dorm block. Everyone's outside and it's raining at 6 a.m. in the morning. Vex. What do you mean? Oh, my mum done this. I don't know how to do it. Why would you choose 6 a.m. while I was hungry? What? Like, do you get what I mean? You're setting your kid up to fail. Like, although you're successful, you built it from the ground upwards, you got to ensure that your kids have those principles and morals installed. You may not give them the full struggle of what you had to go through, but they had to get something from that.
Yeah.
Like a mock.
Yeah,
a little trials, isn't it?
Listen, they've been unruly. Tech everything can say, yeah, you gotta work back for your things now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's discipline now.
I agree with that. I don't feel that any child should just get something.
Yeah, they got.
I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I think
whether you're rich or poor, they shouldn't just get it for the sake of it.
And look at I don't know who it is, if it's Bill Gates or one of those ones, those proper billionaires. They're like, no, these people haven't left their kids any inheritance.
They have.
Yeah, within reason, but they're not getting the full estate. Do you get what I'm saying? But what they're saying is, I've invested in you. It's for you to go out with the tools I've given you to make something of yourself.
They might not have given them cash, but they're usually still on the board of the companies, so they've still got that knowledge
still got
anyway.
Their foot in.
So they're not giving them the cash value, but they've given them the knowledge. So regardless, their name's still patterned against the Bill Gates Foundation. So forever and ever, amen. They're going to get royalties off that. So even though he's not leaving them any money, he has technically, if you look into it properly. So regardless, they are still going to get it. They're going to reap all them benefits for life.
Yeah, they will.
True.
So but it's just not the physical cash. It's the assets, really.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
which
the
is assets are worth way
See,
more than
but
cash.
you can but you can flip assets. You can make your own assets.
Yeah.
That's more important than me saying, here's £1 million.
Yeah, 100%.
Have fun.
Because that's generational.
Because it's generational wealth.
This is why in America, particularly in America, they have had such influx of like poor black communities, because in I think the 50s or the 40s I saw something, basically they built certain housing schemes where they were only specifically selling them to white families, basically. That was their aim. It was a scheme, and they put like millions of pounds into building these developments and selling them cheaply to white families to create generational wealth for the next generation. So that when those houses gain like 200, 300 grand in wealth on the property value, then they give it to hand down to their kids. That's generational wealth. Then that kid has got to start off. They can sell that house, or they can take equity out of that house, start a business, or whatever. So they set that purposely to give, white people a jump over the black counterparts in communities. You know what I'm saying? And that's, if you go on YouTube, you probably find
because
I found it, whatever. But when you think of stuff like that, how.
And they made it difficult for black people to get those.
Right.
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like things like that just show you how important being born into wealth can be. If I was born with, I don't know, $1 million inheritance or whatever, like with the intelligence level that I'm at now and the understanding of the world that I'm at now at this age, comparison to when I was like 16, 17, I spunked a lot of money in like my early 20s and shit like that. But now, having that as a backup, I could be alright, boom, I'm going to do this and that and that and that. And that's what a lot of these people that are born into wealth get a chance. They get a chance to like mess up and
because they know that they can still
they've got to try this. I want to try and put a couple of mil on owning a football team. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, it doesn't matter. All right,
we try again.
The fast food chain, like, do you know what I'm saying? They get chances to try.
The average person has to wait a few years before they can start again.
Boom, I'm going to put my life savings to this business. This business bun down. I'm done. Like that's it. One chance. So generational wealth, of course, that's gonna keep going, and it's gonna be better off.
I think. For me, and I'm going to slightly change the topic slightly, there are a lot of guys that will come to females saying, I've got this, I can change your life. And for some females, I'm going to run with it. I'm going to see where I end up. And they do well. Of course they do well. But then you got others where I'm like, particularly me, I'm like, okay, so if you didn't have that money, however you got it, what would you be doing? Because I'm working for a living. I'm not saying that everyone wants to work for someone. People want to be self-made, and that's fine. But what would you be doing if you didn't have that money? Do you get what I mean? Or why are you using money to impress people? Why are you using money as a way of, I can get any girl I want because most girls want money? No, most girls don't want money. They want a quick fix.
Thank you. There's a lot of women that do want money.
I'm not saying all, a lot though.
There's a lot.
And that's usually people with no direction or no understanding of their own value or what they can do to make their own money. Or I've heard girls say, I'm not good at anything, I'm not creative, I haven't got any skills. Like,
and it's
like, bro, you're obviously good at something, whether it's chatting rubbish or whatever. You're good at something you're good at. Everyone's
got a talent. Everyone's got something that they're good at.
It might not be,
it might just have to be nurtured.
Yeah, exactly.
Which sometimes, unfortunately, not all parents can even have the capacity to nurture their children's talents.
Of course.
And I don't just mean music and drama. Like that.
For real. And it might develop at a later stage in life.
Exactly.
Not necessarily during childhood. You might find a hobby or something later on in life. You might think, oh my God, I actually enjoy doing this. Why don't I do this?
Exactly.
Being 25, 30, look at J.K. Rowling. A lot of these people that made their money later on in life.
Yeah.
All these people made bucks later on in life.
True.
It's true.
I swear she was 30 when she wrote Harry Potter or something like that. Ridiculous. Wow. Yeah, she was in her 30s.
Was she in her 30s or did she make that book when she was younger? Because I'm sure she was poor.
Yeah,
and she wrote it in the dark. She was writing it in the dark.
I think she was a single mum. And I think she was, the story that I read, she was a single mum and she was in a cafe and she was finishing writing it off. And she's had a little baby there and she didn't really have much money or anything. And I think she was probably about between 29 and 30
Okay.
That's when she wrote that. And you got to think, things pop up.
But then look at Simon Cowell, Oprah Winfrey. Simon Cowell, he came from wealthy background. But in terms of his latest success, of his own name, of his own back, that came later on in life as well.
So there's a lot of people that made it later on in life, like KFC. I'm sure the guy, he didn't make that. I'm sure he didn't make his money until...
Exactly. Sugar me.
I know, I thought I threw that one in there. But yeah, he didn't make his money till later on in life. So I wouldn't say to just write it off and just say, we've got to nurture from young. Yes, nurture from young, but there might be some people that pick up things later.
A little bit later.
And you just have to nurture it from there. But you don't really know what you want to do until you get into... I personally think that until you... Like when I was younger, I wanted to be so many different things. I am not what I wanted to be.
It completely changed.
So much.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, you know what? I could be 40 soon. No, not 40 soon, but 40 and then be like, I want to do this now. Like you get people like, there's a woman that I used to work with and at 55, she said, I'm just going to retrain to be a bereavement counsellor. And I was thinking, wow, But when I spoke to her on a bit more of a deeper level, she'd been like, oh, I was a nurse, I was a psychologist. She had done so much things, but you didn't even think. But she was like, yeah, 55 to go back to uni to retrain. I was thinking, well done you.
That's
because
good.
you just probably found your calling now. This is what you want to do.
That's it. But on that note, guys, it's done now. Thanks, guys. Good episode. Thank you for logging on to YouTube to watch the Exchange podcast. Thank you to my wonderful guests, and we'll see you again next week. Bye, guys.